Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome to the weekly review special for week 28 of the Gaming Decathlon competition. This week, major drop in score down to 1,320 from 2,778 a week ago. Simple explanation for that is we had two new games start up, and my two best scores all time, or first and third best score all time, were the ones that were the oldest retired ones still on the list, and they slid off the list. So, incredible decrease in points with almost 2,000 points coming off of our round score. That best round score, 4,648, now way off in the distance. We aren't going to get anywhere near that score anytime soon. And that current virtual best, likewise, major drop to 1,363. So almost all of the games are at their maximum score right now. They're very close to it anyway. And the all-time virtual best is unchanged at 7,932. Breaking down the 8 active games individually, we have PCM 20, the career mode. New record score up to 118. We're early in our third season, and we have doubled our best season score. So excellent third year happening right now. In the all-rounder, that Pro Cyclist mode, it's only season 2, also very early. Not much has changed attribute-wise from season 1 to season 2, but I'm figuring out the limitations of my rider and finding ways to score points. So we've already outscored what we did. Meanwhile, we have leveled up. We're a little bit better. And just from the combination of those two things, it's been enough. Down to the one FS19 series, Valley Old Farm, still at 9 points. But the game day that we're in right now, before the end of this day, no, it's going to be another day or two. So we're 3 days away from silage. We've been working on grass harvest. We've got a ton of bales being created. A ton. So that is setting us up for a huge amount of money, well over $1 million. And that is going to greatly contribute to bringing that down. But it takes 3 days with seasons on for that grass to become silage. So it's going to be a little while before that happens. Once we're done baling all of it, we're going to move pretty quick through the next couple of days and then start selling that off. But we've got to finish that up first. So we're almost to that point. And then that score is going to start to take off finally. Out of the Park Baseball 21, we ended our third season with a massive improvement from where we were. 252 points. The team is so much better. And we finished as a 500 baseball team, which was awesome. And we actually only missed the playoffs by 3 games. Founder's Fortune. Little setback. We were attacked by the pirates. We lost some colonists. But we fared well, all things considered, and are already bouncing back. Just 10 points short of the score we had last week. As long as we don't have any additional setbacks, we should rebound and move ahead of that score and maybe get over 500 in the coming weeks. NBA 2K20, second season. Again, huge improvement. Not done yet, surpassing the previous score, but 63 is already an excellent start to where we were a season ago. And then here's the new ones. So both of them are F1 2020, and I have 2 series going for that, with 1 new episode every day coming starting next week. We have one of each these first couple of days, but we have My Team Principal, as in team principal, as in like motorsport manager style of playing this one. So a lot of seasons are going to happen quick, but I'm simulating races. I'm getting behind the wheel every once in a while, so there will at least be some occasions where I'm driving the car. It's not 100% management mode, but I'm checking out the new mechanics around my team. And if you're not familiar, briefly here, F1 2020, FIA, Liberty Media have finally released their lockdown on everything that they've had for many, many years. And Codemasters has brought in a new mode. It's just like career mode, but the difference is you now run a team as owner-driver. I'm removing the driver component and just running a team as owner, as team principal. So I'm handling facilities, car upgrades, driver management, calendar management, and everything. The AI is also much improved on how it simulates races, and so we're performing well. We have 46 points already. I'm going to break that down in just a second, but the other one is the last question mark. My team career. So we're using that same my team feature, but this one I am staying behind the wheel, but I'm skipping practice and I'm skipping qualifying, and I start every race from last place. We try to get as far as we can through the field. AI is a little bit low, but only to that point where, yeah, I'm faster. And yes, I can pass some back markers. But without developing the car, I won't score points. So the AI is just at that range where I'm definitely quicker, but I'm not cracking the top 10 unless the car improves. And as the car improves, I should be able to get through the field a little bit quicker, a little bit easier, and make some additional positions, and then maybe start scoring points. A lot of fun in both of those, and unlike most YouTubers who are doing F1 2020 content, my team is all the rage. Everybody's doing it. But everybody else is doing traditional career modes. One episode, one race at a time, meaning they might be 3, 4, 5 races into the season right now, and that's it. And they're going to move slow. And it's their sole content, and they are pure sim racers. And I'm far away from that point. I've got my Thrustmaster T150 now. I'm on the racing wheel, but I've only had it since Christmas. I don't do it every day. I do lots of different games on the channel, and so I'm not at their level. I get that, and I understand that. And they are purely racing content on their channels. I have diversity to my channel. So I think this is a good alternative to what you'll typically see on other channels, and hopefully a lot of people will find it interesting. Now, breaking down those scores individually, what they are, where I came to 103 points for that and 46 for the team principal, well, here's a breakdown of those scores. Team principal, a little more straightforward, a little simpler, easier to follow. Facilities and car upgrades, for every upgrade I make to either of those, we pick up 1 point. There are 63 facilities upgrades. There are 101 car upgrades available. We have got to get all of that to get all of those points. So 164 points maximum between those two areas. And then the last one is simply Constructors' Championship points. 1-to-1. So very, very easy. Everything is a 1-to-1 scale. It's facility upgrades, car upgrades, and team points. I have managed to score team points. I have 22 of those so far. We have 5 upgrades on the facilities. We have 19 car upgrades complete so far. The 22 constructors points the drivers points that I have scored are the only points that we've scored as a team, as my second driver is very low level, has not developed, and they've been at the back of the grid. I'm going to fire them. I'm going to replace them, but we haven't had that opportunity yet because of their contract. Period has not run its course. We've got to get about to mid-season where we can hire a driver that we will develop that should be about the same pace right off the bat. I haven't announced who that driver is yet, but here's a teaser. For the ones watching that series, we're going to go with an all-female female driver lineup. The main driver that I set up AI-wise is Juju Noda, Japanese driver, super young, just 14 years old, and one of probably the fastest 14-year-old on the planet, and happens to be a female driver. So it's an interesting thing, as F1 has definitely been looking, open wheel racers have been looking to bring a female driver up. Jamie Chadwick is a likely candidate, but as she's not currently racing in F2, she's not in the game. I could have gone with Jamie Chadwick, but I opted for Juju Noda. And then our second driver, as you might be able to guess now, is Tatiana Calderon. Probably the second slowest driver in F2 currently. Occasionally competitive in the back of the grid. Really poor at passing. Follows cars, stays behind him, keeps okay pace, stays clean, so awareness is high, but not much of a race pace. Really poor overtaking. The worst driver, Raghunathan, they're too slow. I'm not going to bother with trying to develop them as a driver, but essentially we're going for the slowest driver and an all-female lineup for a different angle. Just something interesting, and to see if we can develop just about the worst driver you can get your hands on in the game and see if we can turn him into a winner. And the other series, the last question mark points, a little different. I'm not worried about my other team, even though, yes, I am team manager and that second driver is part of it, but I'm focused on myself as the primary driver. So instead of constructors points, it's just drivers championship points, which cuts that in half almost instantly. You get about 400 points as the lead driver. So, in addition, the facilities, car upgrades, still there, but scaled up. Instead of 1 point for every development, it's 3 points for every facilities upgrade, for every car upgrade. And then that compensates for that loss in constructors points, but not quite all the way. That can get us to about 900. So then that last piece is that AI difficulty. The better I get, the more I can turn that up and still make my way through the field. Right now it's set at 40. Now, last year, 40 would have seemed like crazy low. I would be winning every race with the AI on 40 a year ago. But they have completely changed the scale this year. Completely changed. What was hard difficulty was 80 a year ago, 60 now. And the 40 is the equivalent of about a 65 compared to last year. So they really scaled things the other direction and stretched it out quite a bit. So that's where we're at. That's how those scores are broken down. And my 103 points on there this first week. We have 5 facility upgrades, difficulty 40, and 16 car upgrades with no championship points at this point. So the 5 and the 16, that's 21 times 3. So that's the 63 points plus 40 on the difficulty. That's 103. That's going to do it for this review special on that all-time virtual best side. Still no change in the top 10. Best game on the outside is Founder's Fortune at 14. Didn't increase the score this week. In fact, we went back by 10 points, but we're still right there. Out of the Park jumped in score by over 50 points, so it moves up to 32nd. But that's still nowhere near the top 10. And with the retirement of the other FS series, the Little Norton, replacing it is PCM 20 career mode, which actually would have exceeded that score had I not scored on Little Norton, as it was at 110 points. And PCM 20 career mode moves up to 43rd this week. Again, nowhere near the top of the list, but of course we know that over time it should crack the top 10 eventually, at some point. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Have a good week. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.